Demaray, Tegan Lafreniere, Emma Demaray, Gavin Beartusk, and Aaliyah Colbert. And we have our very first ever chili cook-off winner, Miss Connie Mack. So,
anything else? Yeah, go ahead.
Student of the Month awards were freshman Erin Grafton, sophomore Rachel Stevens, junior Taylor Riley, senior Macy Sherman. Our Be a Buddy Not a Bully winner was Ashley Zulstar. And then the other big thing is I nominated Terry Boland for the statewide Mildred Adams Memorial Award for MHSA for the outstanding support personnel. And got a call last week that she was selected for that. So we had an assembly with all the kids and surprised her and made her cry. And so it's got approved. We did let her go up to the mid-year MHSA meetings on January 19th, and she'll receive that award up there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was fun.
All right. Okay. With that, move on to 4.01. This is the point in the meeting for comments on matters not already on the agenda. Comments on agenda items will be accepted when that item comes up during the meeting. Interested persons may also submit views in written form to the clerk. And those comments will be brought to the attention of the board during the meeting. Do we have any correspondence or public participation? Nope. Okay. 6.01 consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay. With that, I'll move to the vote. Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, Angie's on there.
I don't know.
Steve, I'm on.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. I'll take that as a yes.
Aye.
Okay, governance calendar.
We've got impact date on there. That will happen next month.
Okay.
With only one meeting in December, it's really hard to get all that stuff gathered because we have to have a parent meeting and things like that. So that will happen later in December. So it's on the,
Should we move that?
well, it should happen in December. It just may not happen by your first meeting in December. So, but it is a good, I don't know,
Just to keep it
I
on
like
there.
it there, yeah.
Okay.
It reminds me too of like, hey, put this on your radar, but it's up to you guys if you want to move it, but.
Yeah. I think we're okay with that. All right, with that, we'll move into new business. 9.01, some resignations for your information purposes. You see that I'm not disappointed in any of those, but I understand.
Yep.
Mr. Kirchner, especially,
Yeah.
so.
We were lucky to have him.
Yes, we
Sad
were.
to see him go.
9.02. Yes, you.
Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties tonight, so. All right, I'd like to make the recommendation to hire Becca Hopkins for the accounts payable executive secretary position for the 25-26 school year.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the non-affiliated hire of Rebecca Hopkins as Colstrip Public Schools Accounts Payable Clerk, Executive Secretary for the 25-26 school year.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any public comment on this? Any for the board? Angie?
Aye.
Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. That's you again, Mr. O.
Sorry, can we make it a little bit bigger for you here?
Okay, I'd like to make the recommendation to hire Robert Lundbear and Matthew Gibson as district substitutes for the 25-26 school year.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves Robert One-Bear and Matthew Gibson as district substitutes for the 25-26 school year.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this agenda item?
Robert Wumber is our bus driver. He's just maybe looking to fill some time by subbing in a classroom or anywhere else in the district, so.
Awesome.
Okay, any further board? Angie?
Aye.
Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. 9.04.
Okay, I'd like to make the recommendation to hire Laura Ling for a long-term subcontract for the 25-26 school year. She'll be covering for a current employee on medical leave.
I move the Colstrip Board of Trustees approves a long-term subcontract for Laura Link for January 5th, 2026 to May 20th, 2026 for the 25-26 school year.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board? Angie?
Aye.
Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. 9.05.
All right, I would like to, let me see. Okay, so we got an extracurricular recommendation hired for Anna McCracken as the FBMS assistant girls basketball coach for the 25-26 school year.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves Anna McCracken for the FBMS assistant girls basketball coach for the 25-26 school year.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board?
Yeah, Hannah's been working as a volunteer. She's been doing a good job. Matter of fact, they're playing right now. We rescheduled the game and she's done a very good job.
Anything else? Angie?
Aye.
Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we got two more. I'd like to recommend Lorena Mandel for the FBMS math count sponsor.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves Lorena Mendel, FBMS Math Counts sponsor for the 25-26 school year.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board?
Yeah, when you interviewed Lorena, she was very passionate about math, about a math club. She's done it before where she's been. I think she's going to do a very good job, just not with math counts, but keeping her kids in good school. Excited about math and kind of over those inhibitions that sometimes math offers.
The kids love her. Yeah. She is exciting for sixth graders, which is hard to do.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I visit the classroom. I see that.
Angie?
Aye.
Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. And
Okay, yeah, one more. I'd like to recommend Lynn Crook for the FBMS head boys basketball coach.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves Lynn Crook, FBMS head boys basketball coach for the 25-26 school year.
Second.
okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board?
Lynn's got some experience when he was in Shepherd, coached him there. So I'm excited to get this into
Angie?
Aye.
Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. All right, Matt, 9.06. Outstanding checks.
Okay. I'm requesting permission to cancel the following outstanding checks in the extracurricular account per the fund custodian. So check number 3245, check number 3253, check number 32542, number 32859, number 32875, and number 32891. The amounts are there.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the following outstanding checks to be canceled out of the extracurricular funds. Check 32,454, check 32,533, check 32,542, check 32,859, check 32,875, and check 32,891.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board? Angie?
Aye.
Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. 9.07. This is,
Yeah,
Ms. Ansel.
we took these two classes through the steering committee and are asking for them to be approved. The first is the life skills beyond high school, building on the next step. It's just an additional class on beyond career skills for seniors. And the second one is the transition algebra class. And I did talk with Mrs. Anderson, and she did feel that a 2-year time span would be enough to have that transition class added.
Take these one at a time. So let's go with the life skills.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the course Life Skills Beyond High School, building on the next step, as proposed by Mrs. Nansel.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion and second. Any public comment on this agenda item? Any further board?
So I went to the steering committee meeting along with Steve. I took some pretty detailed notes, especially from like Derek with his, prior to his departure. He said that this aligns with the Montana standards. It would be an elective class. Part of it will fit within our Title VI goals. One comment he had about the course was regarding the assessments was the class participation. Did we fix the class participation grade? Okay, because it originally said that the class participation was like 15% of the grade, and that is not aligned with any of the standards. Like it shouldn't be. He said, as the curriculum director, he was in favor of this class as long as the adjustment was made to the participation piece of that grade. So.
And the reason she had participation in, and we're having this discussion with other classes also, most of those are project-based, they're things, and so the participation was the daily, what you're doing, and that is being changed to more of a performance or a progress grade, so that it's still like they're making progress on that. It's not that they're participating every day, so
Yeah.
it's not grading.
Yeah, he just said that the grade
Tied to
should
the
not
assignment.
ever be based on participation, is what the curriculum director said. So those are my notes on that class.
Who's teaching that class?
Ms. Patton.
Anything else? Angie?
Aye.
Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, transition algebra.
I move the Colstrip Public Schools Board of Trustees approves the high school course Transition Algebra as proposed by Mrs. Nansel.
I'll second it on conditions from Mr. Kirchner and Mr. Otremba.
Okay,
This is not a long-term solution.
Yeah, so I did take extensive notes on that one as well.
she's only wanting it for 2 years, right?
So he actually said we could probably do it in one. Presently, it's being called sophomore algebra. OPI calls it transitional algebra. This course is to be taken after geometry and before algebra 2. We have 2 competent math teachers. They're seeing that there's a gap between algebra 1 and algebra 2. So they wanted this transition class. However, intervention, he said this is a curriculum, strictly a curriculum alignment issue versus curriculum intervention. He said intervention should be happening in the classrooms because when you go and you ask your child what you learned today, and they said, I forget like his exact answer, but it's like, he said, I learned 2 + 2, that's your, help me out, Bart.
That's curriculum.
That's your curriculum.
That's your curriculum, okay. And then if they come home and they say, I learned page 47,
That's the resource.
that's the resource. So the teachers need to be working on tier 2 interventions in their classrooms. The classes are small enough that there can be things done in the classrooms that are more effective than adding an entire course just to get these kids brought up to speed. So as the curriculum director, he said he was not in favor of this. The only thing he thought was, in order to get the kids that are in there now currently caught up, he said that curriculum alignment does not take as long as it's not reinventing the wheel. It's just, we need to get on the stick with it. And we don't have like a math curriculum. We talked about that. So he said, theoretically it could be done in a year. He would not go any more than 2 years on this class at all. Because it is just enabling kids, instead of raising the bar to where they, can be achieving, we're just setting the bar here.
I don't want this to be a class. We need to get
Can-
on this done along. I guess I'll keep. I would like to see it in a year, but.
For this year.
Steve, can I add to this?
Yeah,
Yeah. That
I'm in support of it as a person who's in higher ed. I think a year is enough. We are seeing across, not just at us, but every college that I visited with, we just had a meeting in Seattle, the COVID gaps. And a lot of schools are going to this 1 or 2 year, no longer, to try to make up those gaps. So I think I would support it, but probably not as a long-term thing either. But we are seeing those math gaps. They are real. And anything we can do to close those so those kids are successful at a higher level, I would support.
I agree. We get it done this rest of this year and next year, and then I think that's ample time. I think, so I'm okay with that.
One of the things we're gonna change on our end too is how those kids are assessed and placed in math classes, because part of this gap has been created because algebra in 8th grade is taught by an elementary certified teacher who receives 2 math for elementary teacher classes throughout college, versus algebra at the high school is taught by 2 content-specific certified teachers. And it's different. There's just a gap. And so we, rather than just placing those kids when they come in based on the recommendations, we're gonna do our own initial assessments and place them according to that. So.
Wouldn't
we're
that
not
go with
having
alignment
to
though?
move kids. It will come with alignment, yes.
Yeah.
So, which is on the schedule for next year.
And
Perfect.
Lorena I can't remember about CJO. Aren't they both content math now?
Yeah, now.
They both
yes,
are, yeah.
Yes.
I thought,
Okay. We good?
I know he's taught a lot, but.
All right. With that, I'll move the vote. Angie?
Aye.
Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Central warehouse.
So, since I supervise that position, I went ahead and kind of took the lead on creating an MOU. We didn't get this through CCA yet. Me and Connie have kind of been in contact, but it was kind of last minute that I threw it on the board. So we know that there's still conversations that have to happen with CCA and probably a lot more conversations and votes and things like that. But if I bring it to you guys to just propose that the central warehouse position is only a 2-hour position, it's really hard to get filled. We did offer it to one of our employees that was going to take it, and then she decided not to. So it's left us with non-affiliated, our central office picking up the when no one can do it. So what I would like to do is either allow that to be a non-affiliated position, which is what I'm requesting, or also maybe leave it open to be able to do a co-op position. And have a student that's reliable, be able to go to the post office, pick up mail, deliver the mail. We also, what I put in there as well is that the central warehouse has changed a lot from what it used to be. We used to operate that warehouse where teachers would order construction paper, pens, pencils, everything out of there. We would buy, put it in, and then that person would then pull it out, keep track of the inventory, and deliver it. That's no longer a need anymore. The warehouse is basically just a place where UPS can drop off the packages, and then the mail person picks up the packages there and delivers them. That way the schools aren't bombarded with packages at their door. So the position is definitely still needed. It's not going away, but the warehouse part would go away eventually. So yeah, that's kind of the reason why I want to pull it out of there, is just to give us a little bit more flexibility, and we're covering that position when they're not available anyway. So I do welcome Connie to share any thoughts you have.
And as of right now, the union is not prepared to open discussion on this because we have not had ample time to even do it. I do have a meeting called with my board for Wednesday evening. So after that, we can get together and discuss it.
And I think why I brought it too is that if you guys feel like you're in favor before you get information from CCA, if you are in favor of it, you guys can act on it so that we don't have to bring it then back to the board. Once CCA agrees with it, then they can sign it. You've already signed it, and we can move forward, because right now we're in limbo and it's really hard. It's either I need to post the job and I need to find somebody to fill it out of the classified union. And I haven't wanted to do that because it's the perfect time to make the transition if we're going to. If not, we may get someone in there again, and then, which is fine.
No, it makes sense.
It's just a little bit harder to find somebody,
It's a little
so,
harder, huh?
So yeah.
And our office, like she said, has been doing it for.
We did
Quite a while.
discuss this a lot during negotiations
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
So it's not like it's
Mhm.
for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we approve this tonight and they come back with changes, then it would just come back to us.
Yeah. This just helps the process if they do decide to. If it's an easy change for them, then great. If not, we'll come back to the drawing board and
Figure it out again.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Mhm. Okay.
Anything else? All right, I'll go to the vote. Angie,
Wait.
I move the Colstrip Board of
Sorry.
Trustees approve the memorandum of understanding
I guess I haven't wrote anything down.
as presented for consideration and adoption by the CCA in Colstrip Public Schools.
Second.
There we go. Now I have motion in a second. Any other comment on this agenda item? Need for the board? I think it'll work out just fine. So Angie,
Aye.
Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Nine point oh nine.
Election day, May 5th, 2026. So what you guys will be doing today is either choosing to do a mail ballot election or a poll election. And we have one 3-year trustee position that will be open that is currently held by Angie. So she has obviously option to run again, but we have to hold the election for that. And then later you guys will, this time too, you guys also will be voting on the election, starting and running the levies. So we don't know the, numbers, we haven't set that, but this is just a call for the election. I preferred to do the mail ballot election
I do too.
again, but I kind of put in there the voter, yeah, I added
Usually
that
we get
voter
the better
turnout
turnout
for you
that
guys
way.
to look at and
Okay.
included the bond election on there too, but
I like the mail just because everyone gets that chance and that reminder at home.
Right.
don't have to leave, don't have to, yeah.
No, I'm fine with that.
Okay. I move the Colstrip Board of Trustees for School District Number 19, Rosebud County, State of Montana, will hold the annual regular school election on Tuesday, the 5th day of May, 2026, which date is not less than 145 days after the passage of this resolution. The election will be conducted by mail election. The purpose of the election is to elect one trustee for 3-year term and approval of additional levies to operate and maintain the general funds of the elementary and high school districts for fiscal year 27.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any public comment on this? Any further board?
I was just gonna mention really quick, it doesn't probably really matter, but it used to be 70 days before, so
Yeah.
you guys are seeing it very early because of legislation changes, so now we had to do 145 days, so it really snuck up on me. So luckily, we got it done in time, but just if that looks funny while we're doing this in December, we may want to add that to the governance calendar next time we talk about it.
Probably a
But,
good idea.
yeah,
And a
Maybe put it on
reminder to
in the-
send out that
Yeah,
letter about the
Yes.
use of the
The
gross
levies
proceeds.
yes.
and the,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Mhm.
Do we want, you want to keep it in December? You want to move it?
we have to have it in December.
It has to be?
Yeah.
This
No,
does,
no more.
yeah.
This one does, yeah.
but maybe
Okay.
we can put another thing
Reminder.
on the government's calendar to communicate with the public about
Yeah,
the levies.
so, okay. I'm good with that. Anything else? Angie?
Aye.
Francis?
Aye.
Sabrina?
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye. Nine point one oh,
Do we exist on this?
Steve does.
Steve does.
so in the case of school district as defined in Title 20, Chapter 6, compliance with requirements of law governing public meetings of the local board of trustees, including resulting dissemination of information by a board of trustees or local superintendent or designated employee in a district with no superintendent in support of or opposition to a bond issue or levy submitted to the electors. Public funds may not be expended for any form of commercial advertising in support or opposition to a bond issue or levy submitted to the electors. So we need to appoint a spokesperson for the levy election.
Is that a motion? Or you just appoint them?
I think it's a motion.
Okay,
Sure.
who are you recommending?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I move the
That's you,
Colstrip.
Mr. Allen.
Look back at you.
I move the Colstrip School District trustees appoint Superintendent Scott Otremba as the district spokesperson for the upcoming school elections as per NCA 22121.
Second.
Okay, motion second. Any public comment on this? Any further board? Sorry, Angie,
Aye.
Francis, Sabrina,
Aye.
Tiff?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm here.
Change it up. Make sure you guys are all paying
Yeah,
attention.
no kidding.
Okay. Perfect. Move on to reports. Superintendent evaluation. I think we'll use the one we've been using. I don't have a problem with that one,
I don't either.
so. And we have to do that next month, correct?
Yeah.
So,
I think it's in our second January meeting is when we,
is it?
Work session,
the work session meeting
because
is,
then we go into executive session.
is
and
when we go
discuss.
into executive session.
So you need to give us a date to have this done by. Somebody's got to compile it. You know what would be really cool?
A Google form.
A Google form.
Evan,
I knew that was good.
can you get us a Google form?
Sure. So, do you have the document on here?
Yep.
It's on there.
It's on there.
And then,
Because then we just fill it out and then just get a summary report. Would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
to give back to, who wants to summarize it?
Well, it'll summarize it
Oh, the Google do
itself.
itself, yeah.
Yeah, see, then I
perfect.
don't have to do it.
Thank you. Because I was actually gonna give it to Tiff.
Thank you, Evan.
Who, for that, who needs to be able to see it, like, to see the answers? All of you? Be able to see it?
Just the board.
Just the board.
And then we need to be able to like print the report to give to Scott.
Mhm. So if you could get that to us by the first week of January, after we come back from break,
Yeah, that'd be great.
First week of January, yeah.
when we come back. And then I think as long as we can all have it done by, what's that?
The first board meeting?
Let's look at a calendar real quick. So the first meeting will be the 12th, and then the second one will be the 26th. So
We have it done by the 15th.
that's what I was gonna say, the week of the 12th.
Yeah, we could,
We'll have it done by the week of the 12th.
We will have it filled out.
you're talking about January 12th or?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I
During
can-
12th. So if you could get it to us like the week of the 5th, and then we all get it turned in by the 16th. And then we can have that meeting on the 26th.
January 5th, okay. Just for retention, once this is filled out, who would need to see it in the future? Like, because it would be saved, for you to get a survey, it's gonna be out in the Google Drive, I can restrict it just to the school board group. Does it need to remain there long-term, like once you print it out? It could just be,
Gone, because it goes into a file.
okay, because I can save the form just with blank answers, but blank out, with the question, but blank out the answer, so if we could use it again next year.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That'd be fine.
So I'd have to blank it out, but give the final printout to.
To Brittany.
Do I, or can I get an electronic copy?
No,
Well, you could be emailed the PDF.
yeah,
It's easy to keep track.
yeah, you can, yeah. I just don't think you can,
I think we didn't give it out ahead of time. It was given to them in closed session.
Yeah.
Right.
it is in
And then it
closed
goes
session,
into the
the
file,
file.
The file.
your file,
Okay.
your employee file.
After that, do I get an electronic copy?
Oh, I don't know, yeah, I guess you could scan it to yourself.
Yeah, okay.
I can
Okay.
do that.
It's easy to keep track of it.
And then what the summary looks like is it's just like however many superior marks, however many proficient marks, just the number of marks. And then the comments are, well, they're like anonymous, so they're just, they don't have like who wrote them, they're just bullet points of the comments.
Yeah.
But we can all tell who wrote what.
So if you're gonna write it, better sign it. Stand behind it. So
What I'll do,
Go
I'll
down.
create it, and then Sabrina, can I send it to you just to
Yeah.
go over, you can test it, and then just send it out?
Yep.
to the whole group?
Yep.
Okay.
If it has foul languages from me.
it's easy to pick up that, yeah.
Might be a lot of pictures.
These are one word answers.
Yeah.
Good,
Shit,
good.
that was good.
Question mark.
Can't wait till this is over. Pictures,
That works.
cuss word.
That works for everybody though.
Too good.
That works for you too, Evan. You get out that week of the 5th. We get it done by the 16th. Okay.
That sounds so famous.
Wait till we go into closed session.
Fair enough.
That's when we get to throw things.
Great idea. Sounds great.
Sure. I have a football helmet in there, so.
Bring snacks and then I'll be fine.
Bring, yeah. All right, with that, we'll move on to administrative reports. I didn't have any questions. Anybody? They went through their awards.
I had questions like on Derek's, but I don't know if anybody can answer them.
Give us a try.
Like on the MAST, like the third grade MAST informational score distribution window,
What slide are you looking at?
like the second page.
Oh, the third grade, okay.
Yeah. So so he says band 1 means students scored in the lower third of all students who took the same test. Band 2 means the students scored in the middle third of all students who took the same test. Band 3 means the students scored in the top third of all students who took the same test. So when you look at that, does that mean out of 29, like the very first, there's 29 students total that took that test?
Yes.
And 12 of the 29 are below where they're supposed to be?
Yes.
And the middle 12 are like hanging on
Yep.
by fingernails? And then 5 are proficient?
More than,
More than proficient.
right.
So then you go down to literacy and it's the same situation where we have.
16, 8, and 4?
So more than half of a third grade is below proficient, is
Yep.
that correct? Okay. I just wanted to see if I was reading this correctly and try to figure this out in my head.
And the mass tests, are those 10-question tests? Are they 10 questions?
No, it's more than that.
Are these the Montana ones?
The next state test.
It varies by test, actually. They are shorter than like the MAP test that the kids take. And they test on the standards specifically that the teachers should be teaching during that time frame. Like they
Oh, okay.
establish the criteria that they're going to test the kids over. And so they arrange their standards in their year and they teach those standards up to that point, basically. And then they do it again 2 more times throughout the year.
So when you get to the percentages, like 4th grade MAP, so now they're in MAP testing, 4th goes back, so there's MAP and MAST, right?
Yep, 2
MAP
different tests.
is the district test that we give to the students.
MAP.
MAP, M-A-P.
The
MAP.
measures growth.
That measures growth with a RIT score. So it says where the student should be at. And then the MAST just has the bands. And students that took the MAST last year, there was no score because they didn't figure out what the score was until last summer. So
It's new.
my daughter, who's a freshman, got the report as a parent, how she did just a month ago. Or this month, we got the report because they didn't have it figured out where you should be. There was no norms to say this is where you would fall. So last year, everybody was like guinea pigs. And then they wanted to see where all the kids were scoring. And then a group of teachers and administrators met as a team and decided where would you have to score to be that green band, yellow band, red band is why. And then MAP is normed every year by NWEA.
So on page 5 is where I'm looking at, and it says 4th grade MAP reading score distribution, fall 25. 1st through 20th, there's one, and then it says 21st through 40th, there's 15.
So that's the percentile. So if you think of it as,
So we have 15 kids in the 21st through 40th percentile?
yes.
Okay. And it just goes to 8th grade.
Mast goes 3 through 8. Math is given K through 10.
Okay.
And then you add different tests in there for different grade levels, and it's great to remember.
Okay. Anything you would like to add, Jen?
No.
Anything on your report?
Nope.
Okay. Anything else, guys? Okay. Mr. O?
Okay, I just kind of mentioned that large group, small group, administrative teams in meeting, and some of the emphasis is there, been emphasizing the attendance letters. I wrote them, gave them out in August, and the crew here has been going through them, sort of updating and getting them adjusted for their schools. And the other topic was the Rocky Mountain evaluation. It's kind of a container, a template that we've actually been struggling with a little bit. So I know that Evan's been in touch with them, trying to get it to work for us. If not, when we met, our small team, we brought in Evan and asked him if it's something maybe he could do in flow forms. So he's been working on that. I've been keeping Evan really busy. So I know beginning of school year, I mentioned, I know he mentioned this last meeting, let's get this website updated. Let's make it easier to use. Let's make it our hub. Let's make it where everybody looks at information nationwide, wherever you're at. You can look us up. Let's get great things on there about our kids, about our classes, about our teachers. So I know their department's been working on it, and you've heard a little bit from principals. They have different people in their buildings that now have the ability to go in and update and keep things current. So I know he's really short. You heard that, some of that now from the admin last meeting, it was like one button instead of like 3 or 4. I know it was real cumbersome for me, and I'm really used to a website kind of being the hub. And so Evan's been working with these guys to get that to where it needs to be. So we promote our district really well in a positive light and get things going for us there. 4-day calendar, kind of big topic this last month. We've met, I think, 3 times, but at our last meeting, or the one previous to the last one, we really wanted to get a survey out there as we'd kind of been attacking it ourselves, different issues, had different questions that came out of our research. So we asked classified, certified, admin, directors, community, and I gave the number of responses here, which I was really impressed with. We had 177 community responses, and those show the reports, how they're broken out. I actually wanted to ask people that weren't in school yet too, that were coming into school, so preschool age, asked them, got this out. 177 is really good when you think about our school community of probably around 480 kids, and many of those have siblings, so family-wise, maybe a little over 200. We got a lot of responses, so, and same with certified responses is probably, I think we talked one time, maybe around 60 employees, 40 there, 27 classified, almost all of them. We have it broken down into categories of who responded based on from classified, and then non-union, the non-affiliated people kind of are in there, but we're going to break those out. And we're gonna, after we do, we're looking at maybe another survey, kind of a follow-up with some follow-up questions. Because of the comments, it kind of led us to some other things, like I put here, there are more than just a couple that asked about the length of the day. Have we looked at maybe extending the school year? So I know some people in the committee said, hey, we really want to take those numbers. We have some mock-ups, they're actually other school districts, what they do. So I know a couple people in the committee, we're gonna try to make some for us, some calendars to get out to people then is the next step. And then we also want, I said, let's get these to the unions so that they can look at them rather than us saying, here it is, now what do you think? But we can get their direct input, because with classified especially, so many different positions. And then how are they gonna get their hours in? How are they gonna get their salaries in? And they, maybe Brittany recommended to me, kind of a good suggestion, why don't we ask them? So take it to your union, ask them, how do you think this could or should work? Teachers too, what length of day, what length of year do you think we should have? So we wanna make some of them up, because there's several comments too that said, hey, as far as the community, we really want to know what we're voting for here. What's it gonna look like? What is the length of the day? Because I think I knew it'd be longer, but we hadn't made those decisions yet. I really wanted to know if, like, I did yes, no questions. I really want to know, are you for it or against it? Not in between, not the maybes. And so the indications really were that people were for, and the majority of all of these areas were for it. The least amount were the certified teachers, but they have the most amount of knowledge and background on the effect that a 4-day calendar has on achievement, which we know the research shows hurts achievement. And then in Montana, it was done last year from Missoula. And then there's also the question about, as far as retaining, to me, the reason why when I got here last year that this was being discussed was to recruit and retain teachers. However, we found that from research, I know Mr. Bailey was one of the researchers, had that question to research, and found, somebody else did too, but they found the same thing, was that you may recruit them, get more recruits at first, but the retention of teachers in our state that are on a 4-day calendar, it doesn't show that it helps retain teachers. The things that help retain teachers are valuing your teachers, giving your teachers say. There's 3 or 4 things, how they're treated, respect, all those things, and then salary. So the calendar wasn't huge actually when we looked at that. But we wanted to, and I did ask that question, do we want to, even though research shows that, do we want to give it a try in our district? Are we willing to do that to see how it works for us? And again, the majority said, yes, we do want to look at that. So we're pursuing that. Like I said, we have some more things to do to get some models made up for how they would look. And then we're meeting again in January on that.
And that comes up for adoption when, in April?
Yeah. So then we know.
So are you, just calendar, throwing this out there, are you just bringing a 4-day calendar to the board for adoption?
We're working on a 4-day, a hybrid,
And then
a
what we're doing
4-day
now?
and a regular one. Yeah. We know we got work cut out for us, but we're feeling pretty good about this last survey, and a couple of people on the committee said it won't take us long to get, the times down from when the school would start to when it would end. And so we had a couple volunteer to do that and get that written for us and bring that to us in January. So
Are we gonna poll with the 3 calendars? You think we should poll?
The hybrid, the 4 and the regular.
What we're doing right now
I think we should.
and whatever 4-day calendar you can, I think,
That's
to me, as a board, I don't want 4 different 4-day calendars brought to the board.
No,
You come up with one 4-day,
one hybrid.
one hybrid, and whatever
And one
we're doing now,
5-day.
what we're doing now.
Yep, that's where we're at.
Okay.
And I would like to hear the information that's coming out of that committee, because we can create 3 calendars, throw them out there, and people will be like, oh yeah, that looks good. But if there's research saying why we should or shouldn't do
I
something,
agree,
then I want to know that.
I agree.
Because that's what I want to base my decision on, is what's best for the kids, not what's best for scheduling doctor's appointments.
I agree.
Right.
And that's kind of, I guess, my
Agree.
question too, and that to the committee is, what's the goal? I was asked to look into a 4-day and come up with a viable one that answered a lot of the questions that might be out there. Like, one of the questions was childcare, and I was really surprised it came back about 70% saying that, no, that's not a concern. So kind of, we tried to hit on all the different things. Lisa and I wrote the surveys and sent it out to the committee before I sent it out to everybody else that we might have to answer. And that's what we're working on still right now, is the beginning of the day, the end of the day. We have questions, like you said, classified, what's that going to do to their jobs? But then what is the goal? I mean, you're right, Sabrina. Are we looking at a calendar that really improves achievement? Are we looking at one that we think is going to get us more teachers to recruit them? What do we want? There's some of the, and I get those to you guys. I think I sent them out, just one right now so far to one board member, but then you can look at those too, because you'll kind of get a sense of where people are at in the community and why.
Yeah, and I just like that too, like any type of resources that you're looking at. Because my initial research, very limited, not in depth, was, yeah, it really was good for recruiting. But to hear that it's not the case in Montana, I'd like to hear, if you have information that's more specific to our community, I'd like that. We can share that.
So the only worry I do have that I do keep coming back to in my mind too is our student athletes, if they're gonna be gone on a Thursday for other events.
Well, there's big reasons why it lowers achievement. I mean, I did do this in another district, and our only goal that I was asked to do as a principal was to improve achievement for students. That was it. So then we came up with what's more kind of, I guess we'd call a hybrid, where we had a 4.5-day week with teacher training every Friday afternoon, and we used it extremely well. And if you look at the results of that district, they went up like this, sky high. So that does depend on what our goal is, and we can bring that information, because our committee's done a pretty nice job of getting some of those things. It surprised me. That surprised me, the whole recruiting and retention that does not go up. Then when we talked about as a committee, there's good reasons for that, because if you think about some of your smaller places, like us and more remote, it might be really attractive what we pay and whatnot. It was a 4-day week, but then once they get here, what's going to keep them here? And we've been talking, at least I know the drum that I'm kind of beating is we want to let people know what Colstrip really offers, which is actually probably a little bit more for, the young people, my daughter and her husband's age. They have little kids, and you got CPRD, you got parks, but some of those people coming right out of college, not sure how much you're going to really keep them here. Single people, we have some, but if you look at kind of the nucleus of our community, you have a lot of these younger families. It's been kind of eye-opening to me, just when I go places, all the different school events, whatever, it's not that old of a community, I guess, that makes, you see a lot with little kids and, that age group, but anyway, there's a lot to see and do in this, but what is our ultimate goal? What does the board want us to do?
I think the more information you can give us on those calendars, they're going to be specifically brought to the board, the better.
Reasons again.
But does the committee want the board to give you a goal? What do we want them to focus on? Do we want them to focus on the best calendar for student achievement? Do we want them to focus on the best calendar for recruiting employees or retaining employees? Because those are going to be different calendars.
Yeah.
Or
So
just
there-
what the community wants, because we have comments in there that say, hey, we're tired at times getting asked and then nothing happens, nothing changes.
Right.
So is it that? Is it because we didn't really tell the community? That's where this follow-up survey would be, because we really wanted to know if the yes, no stuff, is this a go-ahead on it? Because if we saw 90% of our community said, we don't want it, or they said, we have problems with childcare, which we did not get that feedback, but we didn't provide them with any information. We didn't say, based on information it says, students will achieve lower. I think one of my questions was on there about, that was community certified, that it possibly does lower achievement, or just admin. I wrote 4 of them. But yeah, we could provide that. But right now we got the green light, but they didn't have all the like you said, those are good things to know. They don't have all that information. That's why I think certified teachers, theirs was yes for it, but a lot less percentage for it because they made a lot of comments about student achievement. And we know this isn't good for students to achieve higher. I mean, because you got that, they miss a Thursday, they don't have school on the Friday, you got 4 days, they don't have class.
Right.
It's, to me, it's a no-brainer as far as achievement. When I looked at the research and stuff 20 years ago, we came up with, my parents on the committee, fact, they said, well, we want our teachers to be trained better. And if you have that ongoing, then you're in consistent types of, like, we talk about curriculum adoptions and meetings, we get subs a lot, right? But if you have time for them, that actually shows that your students are gonna do better because your teachers are on the cutting edge and they're together. So that's that 4.5 day kind of week. And I know,
So with Montana laws, can you do that kind of stuff?
well, I want to look at this hybrid because that came from one of the teachers on the committee. And I asked the same kind of thing. Is that kind of what I'm talking about?
Because those PIR days and whatever days are, that's state law, how many you can have. So if you did a hybrid,
That's why the PDWs are out of the PIR.
so if you did a hybrid with intent to do training, more all of that kind of stuff, then are you allowed to do that?
That's why we're working on this now before negotiations too,
Right.
because there have to be agreements there too.
I just feel like
We used to have a lot
Schools'
more.
purpose is to educate children. I would think that the goal would be the best education we could provide. I don't
I
know.
disagree with you. That's what I'm here for. We're doing all these things to improve education and improve achievement for our kiddos. So, I'm trying to stay neutral because I've got a community to serve, I've got admin to serve, I've got you guys to serve. But if you want my educational input, it's that you want the best schedule to improve learning.
Yes. I think that's what the board wants.
So does the board want to direct the committee to create a calendar that is best for learning? Or do we
Take a
want
look
them to
at the
just keep
surveys.
researching everything and then bringing, because I don't know, does the committee want direction from the board, or do you guys want to just keep doing what you're doing? And then
You want to
bringing
look at the
options?
community survey first?
Yeah, I mean, and are we gonna ask those questions? Like, would you support a calendar knowing that achievement would be lower?
Yeah.
Knowing
some
that,
other
or
follow-up.
would you support a calendar that would increase recruiting, but not necessarily retention? Like, all those things you talked about, I think those are the questions that need to be asked up front. Because, yeah, 4-day weeks are awesome. They really are, but at what detriment to our kids?
And I think that too, just are they or aren't they? Because some school districts don't have a 4-day week for their like K2, their younger kids, because of the length of the day. And I think that's why the community put that in their surveys, some other people did too, is, well, can we lengthen the school year? And maybe it's only 2 more weeks. We don't know for sure. We're doing that math. People are working on that right now, how much longer it might stretch out if we didn't have a longer day. And some people don't want to vote until they knew that. And we didn't want to go ahead until we knew they wanted us to go ahead.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I get it too. Okay.
But yeah, if you guys said, hey, Mr. O, you find the best schedule that's gonna improve achievement for kids, I can
Well,
almost.
I mean, we can say, hey, we want what's gonna be best for achievement with the kids, and the committee could still say, well, we still want for the calendar.
Mhm.
I guess we just want more information still then, huh?
Yeah.
At this point,
I would like statistical data, like,
yes.
Not just for the board, but for everybody else.
yeah, for everybody, just
Just to
put
look
it
at
out there.
And say, hey, this is
Because no one's gonna
what a
say-
4 is. Because, I mean,
Mhm.
you're right, it shouldn't be for doctor's appointment, because you can't get an appointment on Friday anyway.
No, they're all closed on Fridays anyways.
That question came up then too, is it a 4-day with a Monday off? Is it a true 4-day where if you have a Monday off for a holiday, then you go to school Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Some school districts keep their
Right.
Friday off no matter what. There were some things that got asked of us with the comments that we gotta build a couple more surveys, but we, I'm really happy though that,
Hey, I'm glad you're doing it now.
yeah,
Yeah.
people are
Yep.
taking, I want people to know that we value their opinions, all four of these areas,
Mhm.
Yeah.
classified,
Yeah, I
non-affiliated.
want to hear them too.
Yeah.
And you could even ask, like, list your priorities when looking at a calendar. Would your priority be recruitment of teachers, student achievement, retention, and what else? And then that way, you're asking them to prioritize. And you can see, you'll be able to see what the top priorities are, and then you go from there to create the best calendar for that priority.
Plus, then I want to know a little bit more because how much of an issue, how many people left? And somebody asked me that, have you been doing exit interviews? You find out why people left, where they're going, what's going on, why they retire. I'd like to see how many over the last 3 or 4 years have left, and then how many are staying. And then, in other words, how many do we really need to get? How many do we need to recruit? I
Right.
think we're getting a little bit more solid than we used to be.
And the unions did do exit interviews and provided that data with us.
Yeah.
Certified did. I don't know if classified did too. Okay, but we would get that. They did that for a couple of years, and that's probably still available somewhere because it was shared in a board meeting. If you want to look at those, because they asked open-ended questions too. And provided those to us.
That's been, then we had a Christmas party. Okay. That was great. We had a lot of fun. I'm gonna give some shout outs here to people who really helped. We did a district get together on Friday night. And then we had food, we had games. It was a lot of fun. It was at the Moose, had a pretty good committee. I know some were in here that were on it. Rob was on it. Bart came. I know Connie, were you there?
I wasn't.
You weren't there? Okay. I think you, I saw it. That's calendar committee. Yeah. We had, some key players, Brandy Charette, she kind of emceed the deal, and she and Noel. Yeah, go figure. And it just gave a lot of energy. Noel
She's
Dahl,
awesome.
they planned the games together. Robert called, I think I called him kind of towards the last minute, because spearheading the committee with a million other things going on, I needed a lot of help. So Robert went set up. Who else? Berta was there doing food. Stephanie helped with the food. It just was a great crew. I know Bill Hudson stayed late. That's the one thing I failed on. I didn't really have a cleanup crew. So Morgan was there, Morgan Clark and Jeff. They stayed with my wife and I and Bill for like an hour cleaning things up and then hauling things over here that was left over. So a lot of really people, as soon as you start names, people are going to miss somebody, but I know Chris and Brittany did some stuff with getting drinks there and the sodas and the waters, that kind of drink. Anyway, yeah, the other part was open too. So, but we had a little over 70 people there. And I know I had some teachers before we planned this flat out asked me, hey, can we do a district, Christmas party, get together? Because what we wanted to were people from all buildings, that don't get to see each other. And you got like your Tichelle goes to all three. And then, other people, Jen that goes to all of them, Evan's crew, that kind of deal. Then everybody would do individual parties, right?
Yep.
And a whole bunch of them. And then I thought Carrie invited the subs, but we kind of dropped that ball by accident. Only had one sub there because we wanted to invite the subs. And then it was hard too, because which party would they go to? So, we kind of went back and forth on what kind of a party to have this year. And I just went back to this, kind of took care of everybody. But I just thought it was really cool the way that district had a lot of good comments. That was nice to see each other, different people within the district at one thing coming together like that. So,
Well, you are a district. That's how it should be.
It is.
yeah, we like to think so.
Evan brought the technology.
Yeah, Evan was there helping and cleaning up too. But yeah, it was a neat thing. So hopefully more next year, and there's even some good prizes giving out.
Oh, good.
Guess that's all I got.
Good job. That's awesome.
Anything else? Meeting adjourned.